right, so today we're really going to dive deep into this Unlocking Wealth episode about making money online.
Yeah.
We've got all our notes here,
Lots of notes.
and then we're ready to share some insights with our listeners, so
Absolutely.
let's get right to it.
Yeah, this is a good one. It really gets to the core of what it takes to be successful online, I think.
Yeah.
And it cuts through a lot of the noise and the hype that you see out there.
Totally, and right away they debunk this whole get-rich-quick idea.
Right.
Alex and Jess, the hosts, they're all about building sustainable income,
Yeah,
which I think is so important for people to hear because,
absolutely.
you see so many of those, like, make $1 million overnight schemes.
Oh, yeah. And it's just not realistic, It's much more about consistency and discipline and
Exactly.
constantly working on yourself, like building a house, right?
Okay, I like
You
that.
need that solid foundation before you even think about, the fancy stuff.
Yeah, love that analogy. And they don't shy away from the mental side of things either. They talk about self-doubt being like a dream killer.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's huge. And, especially when you're working online and you don't have a boss or colleagues kind of pushing you forward, it's really easy to get stuck in your own head.
Mhm.
They even recommend a book to help with that. Have you heard of Vincendo, a procrastination?
I haven't read it, but just the title alone, like, procrastination is such a big thing,
Right.
especially when you're responsible for your own schedule and your own deadlines and staying motivated.
Yeah, it's like a constant internal battle.
Totally.
And the online world is full of distractions, so
Oh, yeah.
it makes it even tougher. What I thought was interesting is they connect that to this idea of self-awareness.
Okay.
They talk about, even just taking like 10 minutes a day to reflect on your day, to check in with yourself.
So journaling, meditation, that kind of thing?
Exactly.
Okay.
Just to kind of see where you might be getting stuck.
Yeah, those little things can make a big difference, I think. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's all about becoming more aware of your own internal processes, and that can fuel your growth. Not just in online business, but in life.
Right. It's holistic.
Exactly. That's the word.
It's not just about the money. It's about becoming a better you.
100%.
Uh-huh.
And they really emphasize that throughout the episode, this holistic approach.
Okay. Well, I love that, but I also want to get into some more specifics because
Of course.
mindset is important, but we need actionable steps.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And they definitely get into that. They talk about different income streams, starting with freelance platforms like Fiverr and Upwork. Have
Okay.
you ever used those?
Oh, yeah. I've dabbled in Fiverr a little bit, mostly for like graphic design stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy how global it is.
Yeah.
You can work with people all over the world.
It's amazing, isn't it? Like the reach that you have,
Yeah.
it just opens up so many possibilities.
Totally.
And what I like is they don't limit it to just design.
Right.
Like you can offer pretty much any service you can think of.
Yeah. Writing virtual assistants.
Yeah.
Creating music. Like, it's really anything.
It's like a digital marketplace for your skills,
Totally.
which is really cool. And they actually share an example. Alex talks about how he started offering like really basic logo design on Fiverr
Oh,
just to kind of get his feet wet and build up his portfolio.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
You don't have to have it all figured out.
No, not at all. Just
Yeah.
start somewhere.
Yeah, just take that first step
Exactly.
and then iterate as you go.
And speaking of iterating, they also talk about, constantly learning and upgrading your skills.
Yeah, that's key, especially in the online world where things are changing so fast.
All the time. Even if you're an amazing writer,
Right.
having some knowledge of like SEO or digital marketing
Mhm.
can make such a difference in terms of reaching people.
Okay. So let's say you've got the skills on these platforms,
Yeah.
but how do you stand out from the crowd? Because there's going to be a ton of competition, right?
Oh, there's so much competition.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the self-development and the mindset stuff comes back in.
Right.
They talk about building resilience because you're going to face rejection. You're going to have setbacks.
For sure.
It's part of the game.
Especially online.
Yeah,
I feel like it's so easy to get discouraged
totally.
when you put yourself out there and you're not getting like 1 million clients overnight.
Yes. And you're comparing yourself to everyone else
Well, exactly.
who seem to be killing it.
Yeah, and they're not.
Right.
They're showing you like the highlight reel.
Exactly. So that's why they emphasize setting small, achievable goals.
Okay.
It's not about like, becoming a millionaire overnight. It's like celebrate the small wins, build that momentum, and that'll give you the confidence to keep going.
Totally. Like you don't have to go from 0 to 60 figures overnight.
Right.
It's about making that consistent progress
Absolutely.
and learning from your mistakes too.
For sure. And that ties back to the reflection piece.
Oh,
You know, when you take that time to analyze what's working, what's not working, you're constantly iterating
Right.
and improving your chances of success,
and they don't just stop at freelancing.
right?
They also talk about creating your own digital products,
Yes.
which is a whole other world.
Which I find so interesting.
Totally.
Because that's where that passive income potential comes in.
Exactly. So we're talking ebooks, online courses, templates,
Oh, wow.
digital art music. Like, the possibilities are kind of endless,
So you create the thing once,
Yeah.
and it's out there.
and it's working for you,
Yeah.
which is amazing.
Yeah. There's always a,
But it's not like a magic bullet.
yeah,
You still have to put in the effort up front to create a high quality product.
for sure.
It's not about just like slapping something together
Really.
and then hoping it sells itself.
You're still providing value. It's just in a different format.
Exactly. And they even mention things like using YouTube and blogging as ways to generate passive income.
Oh, yeah. Through ads and affiliate links and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's really interesting to see all these different avenues that you can explore.
It can be overwhelming though.
Oh, absolutely. Especially if you're just starting out.
Yeah.
It's like, where do I even begin?
Right.
But they do a really good job of kind of giving you that starting point.
Okay, so what is that starting point? So for those of us who are feeling a little lost, what is that starting point?
Well, they actually give a really simple but powerful piece of advice.
Okay.
Identify one skill
Okay.
that you either already have or that you're really excited to learn.
Okay, so like, let's say I'm a decent writer.
Okay.
What would be my first step?
So you could create a gig on Fiverr offering writing services.
Okay.
Or you could start a blog and just write a couple of posts about something you're passionate about.
So even if I don't have like a full-blown product or service idea yet,
Yeah.
just start creating content
Yeah.
related to that skill.
And you know how we were talking about the daily reflection?
Yeah.
That ties in perfectly here too. Because as you start taking action, you can use those reflections to analyze,
Like a feedback loop.
exactly,
Right.
like what's working for you, what's challenging, what are you learning along the way.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Now, what about people who, like, even getting to that starting point, they're struggling with self-doubt. They're like, I don't even know if I have any skill.
Right, and I think that goes back to the self-awareness piece too. Like
Yeah.
maybe those daily reflections could be about identifying your strengths, identifying your interests.
Yeah.
You might be surprised at what you discover about yourself.
Totally. Like, we have all these hidden talents sometimes
Absolutely.
that we don't even give ourselves credit for.
And then once you have that skill in mind,
Okay.
they recommend setting a really small, achievable goal.
Okay.
Something specific and time-bound. So instead of saying, I want to be a successful writer,
Right.
it's like, I will write and publish one blog post per week for the next month.
So it's less overwhelming that way.
Exactly.
It feels a lot more attainable.
Because you're breaking it down into those smaller steps.
Totally. And that's what I love about this whole episode, is it's not just about like, here are the technical things you need to do to make money online.
Right.
It's about approaching it with the right mindset.
100%.
Building that self-awareness, the resilience, and just being willing to learn and adapt as you go.
It's a journey, right?
It really is. And it's not just about the income, it's about the personal growth that comes with it.
I love that.
Me too. And you know what? After diving deep into this episode with you,
Yeah.
I'm feeling super inspired. I don't know about you, but
Me too. It's a good reminder.
yeah, it's like a good reminder that success in any field, whether it's online or offline, requires a mix of, practical skills and strategy and mindset.
It's all connected.
It really is.
Yeah.
So, to our listeners out there,
Yes.
remember, you've got this. Identify